So, the Azhwars. Before we start to look into who the Azhwars were and what they had done, let's first understand what the meaning of the word Azhwar is. It means, the meaning of the word is one who dives deep into the ocean of the countless auspicious attributes of God. It's called Azhwar. தமிழ்ல சொன்னா பகவத் குணங்களில் ஆழ்ந்து ஈடுபடுவோர். The key word here is ஆழ்ந்து, which in Tamil means deep. So the Azhwars were those who dive deep into the infinite ocean of love and bliss and into the countless attributes of God. They were the Azhwars. And if you look at their outpourings, it is at a different level, the amount of love they had for the Lord and that. So they're called Azhwars, those who dive deep. There were 12 Azhwars, 11 males and 1 female, which is Andal. Now, they were mystic Sri Vaishnava saints who lived from the 2nd century AD to the 8th century AD. All of them were born in Tamil Nadu, except for Kulashekar Azhwar, who was a king from Kerala. They were supreme devotees of Lord Vishnu. That is, they were soaked in the love of the personality of God and his superhuman deeds in the world of men, his Leelas. Along with the Nayanmars, who were similar mystical saint devotees of Lord Shiva, they revived the Bhakti movement in South India, which later on spread into North India as well. The Azhwars came from various castes. Actually, only 2 were from the upper caste. Many of them were for lower caste, which goes to show that caste has nothing to do with devotion towards the Lord. In Sri Vaishnavism, anyone can perform Sharanagati and become a devotee of the Lord. Caste does not matter. They visited temples and composed and sang verses which are called pasurams in Tamil in praise of the deities. For the Azhwars, the deity in the temple is real. It speaks, and it is a communicating presence of God. It is not merely a sign or a symbol. Perumal is there in the deity as his Archa Avataram. Any temple where one of the Azhwars had visited and sung a pasuram on that Perumal is classified as a Divya Desam. There are 108 Divya Desams, starting with the first one, Sriram, and ending with Vaikuntham. Tirupati, Tiruvallikeni, Ahobilam, Mathura, Dwaraka, Ayodhya, Badrinath are some of the Divya Desams. The collective name of these outpourings of the Azhwars and Pasurams, which number about 4,000, it is called Naalaayira Divya Prabhandam. In Tamil, Naalayiram is 4,000, Divya is divine, Prabhandam. So these are called Naalaayira Divya Prabhandam. Now, this Naalaayira Divya Prabhandam contains the same truths that are enshrined in the Vedas, which were written in Sanskritam. The Divya Prabhandam is in Tamil so that the common man could understand easier. Let's look at the 12 Azhwars. They are Poigai, Boodat, Pei, Tirumalizai Azhwar, Namma Azhwar, Madhurakavi, Periyazhwar, Andal, Kulashekara Azhwar, Tondaradipudi, Tiruppan, and Tirumangai. So these are the 12 Azhwars that are there. The first 3 are called the Mudal Azhwars, and they were born at every succeeding day, right? So Poigai was born on Aipasi Thiruvonam. The next day, Aipasi Avittam, Boodat Azhwar was born, and Pei Azhwar was born in Aipasi Sadayam. So they're called the Mudal Azhwars, and the birthplaces you can see that I've given here. Now, all these Azhwars are amsams of Perumal, or part of Perumal. In Sri Vaishnava tradition, they are tradition that amsam or parts of Perumal came to this earth as Azhwars to help us in growing our bhakti and our devotion. So for example, Poyyarvar is known to be the Panchajanyam, or which is the name of Perumal's conch. Bhudat is Kaumodaki, which is the name of mace, and Peyalvar is Nandakam's sword. Those of you who were there during the Panchayuda Stotram class, you would recall some of these names of Perumal's weapons. Next was Thirumarisai Alvar, Chudara Chakram. Thirumarisai is actually on the outskirts of Chennai. So if any of you, when you go to Tirupati from Chennai, it's on the way. So please try to stop off at that Thirumarisai and have a darshan of that Perumal there. Thirumarisai Alvar was from there. The next two Alvars are very closely related. Naalaayira is probably one of the most greatest Alvars. Some of his Divya Prabhandam outpourings are very, very philosophical. And Madhurakavi Alvar was his disciple. And the story of how Madhurakavi met Naalaayira, that itself is a very, very interesting incident, which maybe at some other future time, I will go into that. But all to say here is, Madhurakavi Alvar, the pasarams that he wrote, he didn't write any pasaram, Perumal Pattiye pasaram edila. Our Guru Naalaayira Patti than pasaram edinar. And the fact is, Madhurakavi was a Brahmin, and Naalaayira was of a much lower caste. So again, to go to show that caste really doesn't matter here. The next two, which are sort of related, are Periyarvar and Andal. Periyarvar is the Tirupallandu Pasaram, is what we're going to learn in this class. Both of them were born in Srivilliputturu. Andal was the foster daughter of Periyarvar. Andal she was not a Amsam of Perumal, but she was Avataram of Bhuma Devi. And she was found in the garden where Periyarvar was maintained, grow his flowers. So she came from the earth, just like Sita came from the earth. So I will talk a little bit more detail about Periyarvar, since we'll be covering his Pasuram. When and if we get to Tirupave, I will cover Andal's story. The other four Alvars, Kulasekara Alvar was of course a king from Kerala. He was a great Rama Bhaktar and Ramayanam. He also wrote a very nice composition called Mukundamala, which is in Sanskritam, which is about Krishna, a beautiful Sanskrit in that, Kulasekara Alvar. Tondar Adipodi, which really literally means Tondar Adipodi. He was so humble. Tondar means a devotee or a bhaktan. So he said, Tondar Adipodi, I am like the dust on the feet of a devotee of the Lord. In Sri Vaishnavism, honoring a devotee of the Lord is very important. In fact, you can even insult Perumal, he might forgive, but he will never forget when you insult a Bhagavata or a devotee. So here Tondar Adipodi is saying, I am just a dust in the feet of a devotee of the Lord. Tirupan Alvar and then Tirumangai. Tirumangai's story is also very interesting. At one point, he was a robber, and he was trying to rob a couple in the forest. And it so happened that couple was the divine couple, and how they turned him around. That's also a very, very interesting story. Each Alvar's life has very, very interesting stories and incidents. So these are the 12 Alvars. And when you look at the Naalaayira Divya Prabhandam, this is the order in which it's classified. And this, if you read Naalaayira Divya Prabhandam, this is the order it will come in. It starts with Periyarvar Tirumuri, and the two pasarams that we're going to learn, Pallandu in the next pasaram, they are the first two pasarams of Naalaayira Divya Prabhandam. Okay? And then after Periyarvar, then Tirupave comes by Andal, and Andal has another very nice one called Nachiyar Tirumuri. Very, very beautiful pasarams there. There's a set of 10 pasarams called Varanamayiram, which has nothing to do with the movie, but it's about Andal when she dreams that she's marrying Perumal. And this Varanamayiram, I don't know if you've been to Sri Vaishnava weddings. After the wedding, when they do the Tenga Uruttal, the priest will chant the Varanamayiram. Okay? So, and then these are the orders that it comes in. Now, there's another interesting one. Tondradi Parvar is Tirupalli Eichi, which is basically Suprabhadam. The Suprabhadam, the Venkateshwara Suprabhadam, is modeled on Tirupalli Eichi by Tondaradi Alvar. And the Tamil there is exceedingly beautiful in that Tirupalli Eichi. So we're going to learn the first two pasarams, I said, in the Divya Prabhandam. And then after that, we're going to learn Agalagil Lane, which is a Sharanagati pasaram by Naalaayira, which comes in Thiruvaimozhi, here number 23. Thiruvaimozhi is deep in philosophical concepts, and it's probably that's why Naalaayira is held in such high regard. That Sharanagati Pasram that we're going to learn later on comes in the Tiruvazhimozhi. So, and then finally, there's another set of pasrams called Ramanuja Nuttandadi, which is not sung by an Alvar, but traditionally it is included as Naalaayira Divya Prabhandam, and including that, it comes to the count of 4,000 verses. So this is how, if you were to study Naalaayira Divya Prabhandam, this is the order that it will come in.